Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, we will create contact management project in C programming language. The main objective of this video is to give you an idea of file handling in C programming language. And at the end of this video, you will be able to master CRUD operation in file handling. And CRUD means create data, read data, update data, and delete data in file. At first, I will show you the final application, and this is the application that we are going to create at the end of this video. This application is very simple. We simply get data from the user, contact data from the user, and add that contact information into the file. And after adding, a user can view that data and also update the data, and also they will be able to delete that data. So apart from file handling, you'll be able to you'll be able to learn how to represent a project using flowchart and convert that flowchart process into C functions. And you'll also learn techniques to switch between C functions based on the user input. This is my blog article. I will provide the link of this article in video description. And also I will provide the link to download source code. Please check video description. Now I will explain the flowchart of the application and all the C functions that we are using. Let me bring another nice big picture. Okay, this is our simple flowchart of the application. And at first, the application will present a main menu to the user. And from the main menu, user can select 4 tasks. And these are like they are add, view, delete, or update. And if user will press A key, the application will take user to add the items. And if user will press B, the application will display all the items. And similarly, if user plays U, user can update the data. And if user press D, user can delete the data. And if user press E or escape key, then application will exit. And every time when user will go inside any tasks, so for example, user went inside to view all the contacts. So from here, by pressing escape key, the user can go back to main menu again and select other options. Now we will break down this flowchart into C functions. And for that, I have created multiple functions, and I have classified this function into 2 categories. The first one is user function, and another one is operational functions. And user function are those functions which actually interact with the users, and operational functions are those functions which actually do the tasks in background. So here, as example, let's take a main menu function. So this is the first function which present the option to the user. So as shown in the flowchart. So from the main menu, user can choose any tasks. So let's say user choose view tasks. So they will go inside the view all function. So this view item function, and this view item function will call view operational function. And this view operational function actually read the data from the file and return that data to the view item function. And this view item function will display the contact information on the screen in a tabular form so that user will read it clearly. So this is the process. And similarly for add items, update items, and delete items. And now this read data function will request user to input contact information. And actually this read data will call get string operational function. And this get string function will actually read the data from the user. So you will understand later why I'm doing this. I'll explain this function while explaining the code. And another, our last operational function is search by number. So this function sorts the data in the file based on the unique data element. So in this case, unique data element is phone number. So every time, user will, it will get the user input as a phone number, and it will source that phone number into the data file. Now let's start writing code. I already copied all this code and created project in code blocks to save time because I don't want to make this video long. And this is first part of our project. And at this stage, it will not do anything. I mean, it will not do any operation in background. These are only a user function. They simply display message to the user. So here, our first function is main menu, and we call main menu at first. And the main menu will present 5 options to the user, and based on the user input it will execute corresponding functions. So here as an example, if user will press v option, then it will execute view items, and user will go inside the view item function. And at this stage, this view item will do nothing. We are not doing any background operation. It's simply displaying message. And to switch back to the main menu, user can press escape key, and this view item will take user back to main menu so that user can choose other option. So this is the logic that I have implemented here to switch between the function. And similarly, for all the function, the logic is same here in all function. And yeah, I hope you'll understand this code. The code is simple. Let me run this application. Okay, so this is our main menu. I will press V. So application take me inside view contact function. And if I press escape key, it will take me back to main menu, and I can press any option again. So now I will press E to exit. So our first part is completed. Now let's move to second chapter. In this section, I will explain data structure and all the operational function that we are using. At first, let me copy this data structure. I'll keep right below this header file. And we do not need this. And to store contact information, I'm using structure data type. And inside structure, I'm using only five variables. The first two is for first name and last name, and third one is for mobile phone number, and fourth one is work phone number, and last one is home phone number. And in this data structure, our unique data will be mobile phone number. So user can't save data without providing phone number, I mean mobile phone number. And also user cannot add same mobile phone number twice. So that will make sure while adding the data into the file. Now I will declare our last user function. Data, sorry, read data. I will copy the code at the end. So this function will simply request the user to input data and call getString function to read the data from the input buffer and set the data into structure variable. And instead of using scanf function, I created this function because after reading the data, the scanf function do not clear the input buffer. And this might create problem while reading the another data. So for example, here, while reading the first name, uh, user might input any value of any length, right? So, but the maximum character for first name is only 15. So let's say in the first read, user provided 20 character. And when we use scanf function, so this function will read only 15 character, and remaining 5 character will be overflow. And in our second read, here in our second scanf function, so although user will provide correct value in a correct length, the second scanf function always read the previous remaining character, so that remaining 5 character. And this way, it will create problem while reading the data correctly. So to solve this function, I created getString function so that it will always clear the input buffer after reading up to maximum character. So now I will declare this getString operational function in a separate header file. So let me create that header file. Click S, file, operation.h. Okay, and I'll declare this header here. So inside this operational file, I have declared all our operational function. And the reason behind creating separate header file is to create the code more reusable, so that we can use this code, use this header file in our next project. Because the concept behind adding data into the file and reading data from the file is same. It's the same for in all projects. I will copy the code of getString function here. And this function getString function will read data from the input buffer and save the data into the buffer character array, buff character array. And at the last of that character array, we will add null delimiter. And at the end, we will clean the input buffer. So this will make sure that after reading the data from the input buffer, it will flush out all remaining overflow character, so that there will not be any residue in our next read. Now I will write add item function. So let me copy the code here. So this is our final add item function. So in this user function, it will first read data from the user. It will call another user function, read data function, and read data function will read the data from the user and return that value into our variable C. And before adding the value into the file, first we will source the phone number provided by the user into the file. So if phone number is not available in the file, we'll simply add we simply call the add operational function and save that data into the file. Okay, so let me write two operational function here: search by number and add function. At first, we need a file pointer, and I will use two file pointer. We need two file pointer. And let me copy code for search by number. And this function will first check the number value. If that number is empty, then it will return 2. And second, it will open the file first. So this is the syntax to open the file, and it will read all the data from the beginning to the end, and it will check existing phone number one by one with our inputted phone number. And if phone number exists in the file, it will return 1 value, or it will simply return 0. Okay, so now I will add a data function. Wait, add, and our argument for the function is structure struct struct data d. First we'll open file fopen data file, and here we open in a binary mode ab plus, and there are many mode in opening file. So here you can see I'm using RB mode in this fopen function, because RB mode is to read data only, read binary data, and AB is to append binary data. And now after opening file, I will move file cursor, always at the end, fp0. And after moving file cursor at the end, I'll use fwrite function to write data into the file. And one fp. So, and at last, I will close file pointer. I think we are done with add function. So it will read, it will get data from the argument. It will open file, fopen, and move the cursor at the end and write data into the file, this file pointer, and it will close data. At last it will close the file pointer. Okay, so I think we are done with, almost done with add item function. Yeah, so let me compile and run it. There is error. So what is the correct syntax here is file, capital letter, and yeah, so it should be in a capital letter. So let me build first to make sure there's no any error. So there is no any error. So I will run it now. So now I will press A, enter first name, F name 1, enter last name, L name 2, enter phone number 12345000001. Okay, this is just a number. Work phone number I will leave empty. Home phone number I will leave empty. Record saved successfully. Press any key to continue or enter escape key to go back. I will press any key. Okay, to input again. So first name 2, this is our second name, last name 2, and our second number is 12345000002. Enter work number, leave it empty. Home phone number, leave it empty. So now I have added only 2 items, and I will go back. Okay, we are done up to this. So if I press V, it will do nothing because we haven't written view item function yet. So I'll go back and exit the function. And now our add item function completed. Okay, and we'll start writing view item. Now I'll explain view items function. At first, let me copy the code. So this is our view items function. And one thing we have to consider to write view item functions, so that is, we can't display all the items at once. So let's say there are thousands contact information. Then pulling all those 1,000 records and displaying on the screen is not user friendly. And also all 1,000 records will not fit on the screen, right? So we have to display only limited number of items at a time. And in this case, I'm displaying only 15 items at a time. And to display next 15 items, we have to implement a pagination feature that I haven't implemented here. And as of now, I will leave that feature for you and try to implement that feature. But in my upcoming project, I will implement that feature. But for now, I will display only 15 items on the screen. And so to display 15 items, I have created array of structured data. The maximum size of the array is 15. So read array size. So here if we check, so maximum value is 15, and maximum value 15, and we will call view operational function, and we'll pass the array of data, array of structured data, and we'll pass the maximum size of the item that we are going to read at a time. And this view function will read the data, from the file and assign that value into our array. And at last, it will return the number of item it read. And always this value will not be 15, because if the number of item is more than 15, then obviously the value of data size will be 15. Otherwise, it will be less than 15. And at the below, we are displaying data in a table, and I'm using go to xy function to display this header of the column, the first name, last name, mobile number, and these are the header of the column. And I'm displaying one array at times in a loop. So all the value will display horizontally in a column, and I'm looping all the data vertically in a row. So yeah, this was about view items. Let me explain the view operational function. So at first, I will copy the code view operational function. So this is our final view operational function. And here the argument is array of structure data. And this is the maximum size of the items that we are going to read. And this is the syntax to read, to open the file. And here I'm using RB mode because we are writing data in a binary form. So I'm opening file in a read binary mode. And this while function, while loop, will loop through the data in a file, and it will assign its data into the array. And this I variable is incremented each time. And whenever this I value will reach up to the size of maximum item that we are going to read, that is 15 in our case, this while loop will terminate. So this will make sure that we are going to read only 15 items at a time. And at last, we will close a file and will return the number of item read. And yeah, this was about the view. And let me go back to the view items again and to check everything missed. All good. So now I will compile application. There isn't any error. I will run it. Let me press B option. This is our data which we had added earlier, and we successfully completed our view function. Now I will start writing update contacts. At first, let me copy the update item function. So this is our final update item function. And as you know that a mobile phone number is our unique data. So there will not be any duplicate mobile phone number in the file. So the main concept here is we'll ask user to input the mobile phone number where user want to update the details. So at first we'll ask user to enter the mobile phone number, and then we'll search mobile phone number in a file. And this function will return value 1 if that mobile phone number exists in the file. So if the mobile phone number exists in the file, then we'll ask user to input new details of the number. Number details, and we'll pass that new details and the phone number into the update operational function. So this is the function which actually update the data in the file. And after that, if mobile phone number do not exist, we simply display the message mobile phone number do not exist, and then as usual, user can continue by pressing any key or go back by pressing escape key. Now let's write update operational function. So I will copy the operational function here, somewhere here. And this is our update operational function, and this is the actual function which actually update the data in the file. So at first, we open the file in RB plus mode. RB means read binary, plus means append data. And we use while loop to read the data one by one. And we'll compare the phone number of the data, mobile phone number of the data with mobile phone number provided by the user. If both mobile phone number matches, then we will rewind the file pointer just by one block, and then we will write the data. We'll override the data on that block, and after that we'll simply close the file pointer, and this will terminate the while loop. So this is the concept of updating file. So let me explain how this fseek will work by providing the example in Notepad. So let's say this is our data file, let's say, as an example, and this whole is one block. This one, first name, last name, mobile phone number, work phone number, and home phone number. So this whole is a block of data, one block of data, which is equal to size of A. So the size of A is equal to this whole memory block. And we'll read one block at a time. Let's say we want to update this mobile phone number. So 004, we want to update this. So while reading the data, after reading this fourth block, our file pointer will move to fifth one. So we found our mobile phone number, but our file pointer moved here, and we want to override data in a fourth block. Then we have to remind this file pointer just by one block to the fourth one. And rewinding that file pointer is done by using fseek function. Just subtract the current file pointer by size of data structure. So it will move it will rewind the pointer just by one block, and then we'll override the data. So this is the main concept. I think we are done with the update function. So let me build this code. So there isn't any error. Now I will run it. First, let me view the data. So as of now, we have only two mobile phone number, two record. So let's say I will update the second item. I'll update the first name and last name of the second item. Now I will press U, enter mobile phone number 123450002. This is our mobile phone number. So mobile phone number exists. Please enter the new details. So fname up, last name up, U, and the mobile phone number is same, 123450002, and enter. Home work phone number I will leave empty, home phone number I will leave empty. So enter any key to continue, or enter escape key to go back. So let me go back first, and let's view the data again. See, our contact details, the second contact details is successfully updated with our new details. So now I will start writing our final part, delete contacts. This is our last function to discuss. So at first, let me copy the code. So same as update item function. At first, we will ask user to input phone number, and we'll source that phone number in a file. If phone number exists in a file, we'll ask user to confirm it again. And if user press Y, we'll call del operational function by passing the phone number as an argument to delete the data from the file. If phone number do not exist in the file, then we'll simply display the message. And at last, as usual, user can press any key to continue or enter escape key to. Now I'll explain our final operational function del. Let me copy code here. And this del function is very interesting function among all the function that we created earlier, because I like the logic that we are using here to delete the file. Actually, in C programming, we do not have a specific function to delete the data directly from the file, because once we allocate memory block in a file, it is not possible to delete that memory block from the file. We can't delete that memory block completely. So here in this function, I'm using another temporary file. So this is our temporary file ft, and our primary file is data file this fp. We will copy all the data from a primary file into temporary file, except the data that we want to delete. So this is the logic here. So after copying all the data from primary file to temporary file, except the data we want to delete, we will simply remove our primary file from the disk, and we will rename the temporary file by our primary file name. So this is the logic to delete the data. And this logic is very useful if we are dealing with a small set of data. And obviously it is not efficient if we are dealing with huge number of data. Let's say you are dealing with millions of data, then this technique is not efficient. As of now, I will leave this with you. Okay, so if in your project, if you are dealing with huge number of data, then try to find another efficient technique. So we are done with this del function. Let me compile the project. There is no any error. I will run it. Let me view the data first. We have only 2 records, and I will delete this second item. Let me press D option, enter phone number 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 2. Mobile number exists. Press Y to delete or any key to skip. So I will press Y. Phone number successfully deleted. Let me go back and view the item again. We have successfully deleted the record from the file. So this is the end of the project. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye bye.